Hello, xin chào mọi người trở lại với channel của mình. Mình là Gloless. Và hôm nay thì chuyên mục sẽ hơi khác một ngày một tí, đó chính là mình sẽ bắt đầu làm nhà. Yay! I will be in the hall for my wife. Và có ai á? Như là cũng có Denha, Gia Lan và những người khác nữa. Từ từ, nó sưu tập. Chắc hết chứ bắt đầu là nhiều đi đây.
How can I smash all these training dummies at once? So that's how to do it.
Yay, that's how to do it. Fast.
Take it easy. Gotcha. Let's get it on. Things are about to get dicey.
Đi rất nhẹ nào.
It's getting a little cold. Time to bundle. Quietly now. You asked for it. Gotcha. Buckle up.
Lỗi gì? Giận quá. Có 12 ca máu đủ. Thôi kìa.
Busted. Quietly now. You're dead meat. Busted. Look alive. Game's up. Time's over. Gotcha.
Mẹ cay nha.
This blinding sunlight is such a pain. No way I...
Con up này 90 đã chứ farm
nap in this weather.
giờ để mai farm đồ để phí.
Ad Astra. Thank you for Ad Astra.
Okay, let's finish the quest. Còn những nhiệm vụ đó mình ra nè. Okay. Already. So yeah, bên hai thích chờ rồi. Mình đang làm nhiệm vụ khác tất cả. Hold up. Thiên lún. Đừng có nói là nhiệm vụ con Ito nghe. Nằm ngủ. Mẹ thấy cái lần rồi lên hà đi.
Oh, Miss Yenfei, it's you. Has something happened? Did the client from last time... Have no further trouble from then on? Yes, of course. I'm just here to ask you a few questions. Has a merchant by the name of Crossell asked you to put him in contact with a jewelsmith recently?
Yes, I remember him. He's a merchant from Snezhnaya, no? Yeah, he came to me with a chunk of something he called smaragdus jadeite. The design of the hairpins that he gave me was quite intricate, so it took me some work to find someone who was up to the job. Eventually, I found an older jewelsmith who made them exactly according to his specifications. This order was on hold for a very long time, and only completed quite recently, which is why I remember it so well.
Doesn't seem like there's any evidence to be found here.
Miss Sinksy, I'd like for you to confirm for me once more. When Mr. Crossell commissioned you to find him a jewelsmith, did he or did he not assert that the material he presented to you that day was called smaragdus jadeite?
Yes, I'm sure of it. The hairpins were made using many expensive materials, and the asking price was quite high, so we had to put this transaction on record with the Ministry of Civil Affairs. Mr. Crossell wasn't very familiar with the necessary procedures, so I filed it on his behalf. I also kept a copy for my own records. See for yourself, the item is called Smaragdus Jadeite Twin Phoenix Pins. The inlaid gemstone is recorded as...
Thank you, Sinksy. Now, Could you let me borrow this document?
Sure. It isn't serving much purpose here anyway.
Nothing you need to worry about. Just a minor issue. I'll return your document as soon as I'm done with it.
Why is everyone's first reaction always to assume someone or something is in trouble?
I believe we have almost all the evidence we need. We just need to make one last trip. Let's go to Boo Boo Pharmacy to speak with Dr. Baiju.
The weirdo with the
Because only he can provide an authoritative statement confirming that Smaragdus jadeite is harmful to the human body. Once we have this final piece of evidence.
Okay. Đây kiểu như cốt truyện thiết của dân Tây gì kiểu thế.
My, to what do I owe the pleasure? Though I'm afraid that if you're looking for our little Chi-Chi, she's out gathering herbs. And if it isn't Miss Yenfei as well, now that's an even rarer honor. What business brings you here, might I inquire? Some charlatans peddling ineffectual medicines again, no doubt?
No. I'm here this time to ask if you're familiar with Smaragdus jadeite.
Smaragdus jadeite? Why, yes, there is some information about it included in the 6th commentary on the Seven Mountain Treatises states that this substance springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who touch it. It is abundant in elemental energy, so if someone without a vision is in contact with it for a prolonged period, best case scenario, they fall ill. Worst case scenario, they'll suffer great changes in personality and their illness will only ever get worse.
Oh.
Anyway, I'm sure you didn't come all this way just to chit-chat.
Yeah.
Knowing you, Yenfei, and given the specific nature of your question, I suppose that you're about to ask me to write an official affidavit attesting to the pharmaceutical peculiarities of Smaragdus jadeite?
That is indeed the case. If you would be so kind, Dr. Baiju.
No trouble at all. It's just a single document. Won't take me a moment. I would mention, though, that you are not the only one who's developed a curiosity for Smaragdus jadeite recently. A Snezhnayan merchant came to ask me about it not long ago. But after I gave him my reply, his expression shifted to one of remarkable disappointment. I wonder, Miss Yenfei.
You needn't concern yourself about that, Dr. Baiju. Thank you for penning us that document. I'll make sure to compensate you in due course.
You're too kind. Take care now.
That Baiju guy is as weird as ever.
Cha này biết trước là nó không có tác dụng rồi nên quyết định là sử dụng một loại đá khác để thay thế làm cái
Dr. Baiju's always been like that. Well,
Trầm ngọc
we have the evidence we
vu
need.
khống việc
Let's go find
nó bị
Mr.
mất
Crossell.
cái rồi lấy được quyền bù và bằng với lại với ngọc. Very smart. Too smart for people to live.
Miss Yenfei, have you finished your investigation? I trust you will now be in a position to assess the compensation due.
Yes, my investigation is indeed concluded. I can now provide a final figure for the amount payable.
Wonderful. Well then, please.
Of course. According to this, Mr. Crossell, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original transaction price in Mora.
Sure. Wait, what? Me pay her? Surely there's been some kind of mistake, Miss Yenfei.
Not at all. According to my investigations and the material evidence that we've gathered, the substance claimed to be Smaragdus jadeite that was inlaid within the Smaragdus jadeite twin phoenix pins that you rented out to Mr. Chow was, in fact, Smaragdus nephrite. Now, the contract states very clearly that 10 times the price shall be paid should the article not be genuine. Accordingly, you are liable for this sum, which is payable to Mr. Chow in Mora.
Material evidence? What material evidence? Why, Miss Yenfei, you cannot frame me like this. I spent a huge sum to obtain that Smaragdus jadeite, and yet you claim that the ore inlaid on the hairpins is somehow fake? I demand to see your evidence.
Indeed. Only a testimony from an expert witness involved in the processing of the ore can serve as an authoritative assessment of whether it is genuine. This is a processing record from the Jade Mystery, along with stone samples and an affidavit signed by the...
Seriously? Even the boss there couldn't differentiate between In any case, Smaragdus nephrite is the outer layer of Smaragdus jadeite.
That's an
Well, your claim that my ore is fake is just as unsubstantiated.
Looks like our first piece of evidence didn't convince him at all. Seems like
hard evidence.
Okay.
Something legally binding. We have...
This document proves that my hairpins are the real deal, doesn't it? This is the
our second piece of evidence.
You know, you could be right. Perhaps the hairpins are the real deal.
Of course I'm right. All the evidence shown supports my...
Well, hang on a moment now, because I do recall one final piece of evidence that we haven't, Traveler. Would you do the honors? Smaragdus jadeite springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who touch it. Sustained contact with Smaragdus jadeite over a prolonged period will, in less serious cases, cause a mild malady. While Mr. Crossell, were you aware of these peculiar properties of Smaragdus jadeite?
I had no idea.
No idea, you say? I had guessed as much. But for you to have rented out such a dangerous item, I'm afraid that this falls outside the scope of my work, but within that of the Ministry of Civil Affairs. However, I'm sure that the Ministry will be relatively lenient. Don't worry, Mr. Crossell. I will make sure that all the evidence presented here will be handed over to the Ministry. I trust that you'll give them your full cooperation in their investigations.
What? Wait! I knew.
Oh, so you knew? Oh, dear Mr. Crossell. But if you knew of Smaragdus jadeite's dangerous properties beforehand, why would you...
Huh? No, The hairpins
aren't actually inlaid with genuine Smaragdus jadeite? Is that what you were about to say? You do understand, Mr. Crossell, that this means that you will have to pay Ms. Chow 10 times the original price in Mora? Mr. Crossell, your answer, please. My client and I are waiting.
Camp, he's seriously intimidating right now. It's like she's a different...
I admit it. I confess. The ore I had inlaid on those hairpins was Smaragdus nephrite. But I'm a victim in all of this too. I invested a great deal of time and money into acquiring that small amount of Smaragdus jadeite, in the hopes of turning it into a piece of jewelry that would fetch a fine price. But after receiving it and carrying it around for a few days, I started to feel extreme discomfort. I couldn't sleep a wink or eat a single bite. I was in a constant state of agitation too. I went to Boo Pharmacy to get myself checked out, only to discover that this sort of stone cannot be worn as jewelry. But how could I let all that money go to waste? That's why I had another pair of hairpins made from Smaragdus nephrite, which is almost indistinguishable from Smaragdus jadeite. I kept the real Smaragdus jadeite in a specially made box. I daren't touch it again. I was worried that someone would see through it, which is why I only dared to rent them out, not sell them. And then to top it all off, Chow lost the hairpins after I rented them out to her.
Exactly! If they weren't the real deal, what...
I didn't want to either, but when I purchased that Smaragdus jadeite, some of my business partners found out. I knew they'd be watching closely to see how much I could make off it. If word got out that I sold a pair of fake hairpins, then my days in this line of business would be over.
All right, let's cut the appeals phase right there. I fail to see what bearing any of this has on your transaction with my client. According to...
10 times.
Crossell looks like he could faint any second.
As for me, according to my contract with Mr. Chow, 20% of that sum will go to me.
20%? That's as much as I spent on that Smaragdus jadeite.
There's no need. It's fine. You don't have to pay me that much more. Even if the Smaragdus jadeite on those hairpins was fake, I still bear responsibility for losing them. Legally or not, I think I owe some compensation for that.
Ms. Chao, you...
You are too nice.
However, Mr. Crossell, since you have no use for that chunk of smaragdus jadeite, why don't you give it to me instead? I'll consider us even.
What? But I... All right, then. This cursed rock's brought me enough grief as it is.
Miss Yunfei, I'll turn this smaragdus jadeite over to you. I trust that it will suffice as remuneration?
Well, that's not quite how the rules say this should go. But whatever. It'll do.
Thanks so much for your help this time, Miss Yunfei. When you have the time, I'll be
Chào,
sure to
chào.
visit and express my thanks more appropriately.
Oh, come on. No need to stand on ceremony. Now, if I may confirm this again, Mr. Chao, have you and Mr. Crossell come to an understanding?
Well, yes, I believe we have.
Well then, that's good. Mr. Crossell, it seems that my client has no further claims against you.
Is that so? That's good. That's good.
Actually, Mr. Crossell, I'd like to talk business for a second, if I may. I could see from the hairpins you produce that you're very skilled in jewelry design. My family, on the other hand, works in the ore business, and we have a fair stock of fine ores. If we could join forces, your jewelry designs and our choice ores, I think we could do some fine business between us.
Let me think for a moment.
Well, that's that. And we've got the smaragdus jadeite that Granny wants too. All's well that ends well, eh?
Exactly. Usually when someone tells us they've lost something, we end up searching all over the place for it. But this time, you managed to solve the problem with just a big stack of documents. Even though the solution didn't involve actually finding the hair.
The right solution depends on your perspective on the problem. The objective of my client, Mr. Chao, was to reduce her liability to pay compensation. So, rather than looking high and low in Adeptus. Speaking of, you took part in that battle, didn't you? In which case, you would have heard what Granny said. Liyue Harbor is now a city ruled by humans. The title of Adeptus means precious little to me compared to my job as a legal advisor. In any case, don't you think that the Liyue Harbor of today needs legal consultancy far more than it needs adeptal powers?
Paimon can think of someone who would definitely disagree with your reasoning.
Well, since we got what we came for, it's time to pay Granny a visit. I bet she's been on tenterhooks for a while now.
Okay. Run. I think I gotta make it. Còn cái nữa đâu. Okay.
Ah, you've returned. How did it go? Were you able to find the smaragdus jadeite? Good, good. Then we have all the materials we need.
Well, if we're all set, Granny.
Oh, you. All right, then. Go see to your business. Granny should be able to handle the rest.
I'm off then. Bye! Oh yes, Traveler. Make sure you don't lose the business card again. I've been looking into the laws of other nations as well. If you should ever bump into any trouble with the law, come find me directly.
Come now, child. Are you leaving
Quảng
or
cáo.
are you not? If you have no wish to leave, perhaps you'd like to help me clean my teapot. Hmm?
I'm leaving! I'm leaving!
That child. Goodness knows where she learned to be so rambunctious. Her father mother was hardly so riotous or fond of... Indeed she is. Liyue has changed, and the Adepti must also learn to change. Yanfei might be overly garrulous, but she is also the most intimately acquainted with the city among us all. Liyue is not the same place I once... All right, then. Let us speak of this no more. Back on topic. I believe that I still owe you a little...
Oh, Paimon's so excited! How's it?
It is but a single teapot. It shan't take long at all. Just wait here for a moment. There we go. This serenity pot is all you'll hold it firmly. If you were to drop it, oh goodness, who knows what might happen. Take these blueprints with you as well. You'll need them.
Wait a minute, Granny!
Oh, you needn't worry about that. I've already arranged for a certain little helper to await you within this teapot. She will explain everything.
Okay, một con chim. Hey. Cuối cùng mở nhà rồi. Cái nhà để rồi. Thí đại động lâu. Này đi, chọn bờ biển đi. Mát đi.
Navigating the world is a whole lot easier.
Wow! This teapot! But there's just a whole load of nothing around. I can't do that! Well, you're the one with the sword anyway. You do it!
Tại sao là kiếm vô đập đá?
Why is it so... Oh, wait a sec.
Ôi.
Wow! It's a huge finch!
Excuse me, I am not a finch. I am a teapot spirit, and you may call me, hang on a moment. What am I supposed to be called again? Oh,
Okay.
call me. I suppose you may call me Tubby.
So you're the little...
Madam Ping? Oh, you must mean Ping. Yes, she did summon me here. She
Okay.
told me much about... You may leave all matter... Your journey may be far from over. But at least this way, you will not want for a comfortable place to sleep each night. Though it is the Adepti who create realms such as this, they generally do not have the time of day to attend. Thus, we teapot spirits were created to help. You may consider me a butler, if you will. Now, allow me to explain that... Have you any blueprints on? As long as you have a blueprint, you can read...
Blueprints? Oh, that's right! Granny
That's
handed us
blueprint.
someone...
Okay.
Yes, these are the blueprints I'm talking about. Go on, open them up. Just commit the image of the objects to memory. Then simply release the thought from your mind and the object in the blueprint shall appear within this teapot.
Wow! Is that all it takes? Then we could build a whole city inside, couldn't we?
I doubt it. A golden-eyed adeptus explained this to me at some point in the past. He said that even though subspace creation is a product of adeptal power, even that has its limits. This world is not a true one, after all. It provides merely a moment of brief respite from the mortal realm, not a means of escaping it entirely.
A golden-eyed...
I hardly remember myself. Well, let's not dwell on that. Have a look
Dòng bí.
around. If there's
Dòng bí
anything
màu
you...
vàng. Nhà bà bạn nào làm? Mình cần một bản thiết kế.
I got a new letter from an informant. Looks like the situation has changed again.
Mình chưa mở cái này, mình xin lưu cái này hồi mở sao.
Good roll. All right, maybe I'll take one more day off and knock out the rest of the work once I'm feeling up to it.
Mình suy nhiều việc này. Mình xây nhà cái gì ta?
Navigating the world is a whole lot easier with a few different identities to choose from. Need me to come up with some for you?
Cái gì? Đúng rồi. Tạm thời thì chưa có gì cả, nhưng mà xây dựng lại xếp thôi. Chắc vậy. Ok.
Maybe you're not.
Đây kìa. Không bỏ phường rậm. Mà thấy nhà.
If you ever.
Nhiều đồ phết nhưng mà mình chưa có xây được cái này sao nhỉ? Của nó bằng sau lấy cái nhiệm vụ lấy cái của bên Sumeru ta muốn xây nhà bên kia Sumeru. Ok.
If you ever...
Mình ngoài mà quá. Đây dâu này, anh đây.
Another bad one? No, let me try again.
Ok, let's see what we do here. Mình có mà. Thế là thực ra mình đã có mà. Oh fuck. Ok. Nè. Đây là kiểu Inazuma thôi.
Maybe you're...
Rồi, đẹp.
Good roll. All right, maybe I'll take one more day off and knock out the rest of the work once I'm feeling up to it.
Hơi mở cái khu này ra ta. Thì mình xây nhà kiểu cái má mình thích tất nhiên. Well. với ban thôi.
Oh, look who it is. To what do I owe the honor? Or did you just need my help? Not bad. The courtyard furnishings are very nice, and the scenery in the distance is really one of a kind. So yeah, I think I'm gonna enjoy my time off here. In my own home, of course. My home's located some way outside of the city, in a very quiet and peaceful area.
I want to visit your house in town.
Judging by the look on your face, I'm guessing you've fallen for the rumors about me being very wealthy and having high demands for my standards of living. Seeing isn't always believing, and if you can't trust your eyes, you bingo. I think you got it. Seems like you're learning. If you live far enough out in the sticks, you have plenty of legitimate reasons to ditch work. The mountain path was blocked, or you ran into some treasure hoarders en route. Not to mention that if you live in a packed and bustling city, it's much easier for people to trace your steps. This creates all kinds of issues. That said, since I'm free to come and go as I please here, it would be a terrible waste for me to not use it as a backup base. You wouldn't mind that. Oh, look who it is. To what do I owe the honor? I would be delighted. We should make some tea, too. Sipping tea, chatting, just enjoy. Hey, you're friendly with Raincomer, aren't you? I hear she's a tea drinker, too. Why don't you treat me to some choice tea from her personal collection? I'm just pulling your leg. She let me try some of her tea already, and we had a love. The key to making sure a conversation goes well is choosing for chatting with you. Let's go with... Well, if you were just looking to shoot the breeze with me, I can get on board with that too. You know me, role-playing's one of my biggest strengths. Seriously though, I think the topics I mentioned are the ones really worth sharing with you. The things I've learned come from a mix of secret techniques taught by the Millilith Scouts, real-life cases of competition in the business world, and the experience of various overseas organizations. For someone like you, this knowledge is going... Once you've mastered it, you'll be able to... Anyway, just remember...
Ok, ví dụ xây nhà mình mở nha. Đây là đâu? Rồi. Nhờ đi lên Hà là rồi. Lên Hà trong nhà kiểu interview mà nghe cũng mới đần. Okay.
I'll admit, it's cozy here, but there's not a whole lot to do. I'm worried. Oh? Look who finally showed up. Any chance you've got an exciting gig for me?
Giọng tiếng Anh của Đinh Hà nó hơi chua nhỉ.
Beats living in the desert. No crazy temperatures, no howling gales. No, plus, you don't have to keep an eye out for monsters popping out of the ground or vultures swooping down from the sky. There's no getting around these things if you want to survive out there. You also can't forget to keep your guard up in case of troublemakers. Whoa, what's with that look on your face? Scared stiff?
Yeah, I do.
Relax, you've got me. Just bring me along the next time you go to the desert, and I'll handle everything for you.
Dạ, ok. Có sự sửa. Còn. Đây nhá. Yêu thích tôi như nào gì? 7 rồi. Ui. Tiếng nhạc của nó thì không như là những nhạc vậy. Ok, muốn bắt đầu xây cái gì nha. Nghe, mình chỉ chơi.
Maybe you...
Ngồi cô đừng phát mới là mình đỡ qua đến kia rồi ta.
If you ever...
Ồ,
Maybe...
nhà kiểu Sumeru. Ấm. Ôi. Điều khiến cho bạn thiết kế là cho cái nhà ở bên Sumeru được đẹp đấy. Được bà. Ok, rồi sáng suốt.
We mercs have one simple rule. Whoever pays the most is your new boss.
Mình sẽ mở mấy khu nghiệp à. Rồi nhìn lại khu rừng nó thương. Mình còn tiếng Anh của thế này.
The desert's a tough adversary, but at least it doesn't hide anything. What you see is what you get, and whether you take on the challenge is entirely up to you.
Mình gặp thứ
We mercs have one simple rule. Whoever pays the most is your new boss.
Bây giờ rồi.
Maybe you're not.
Ôi, hoa đồ, hoa đẹp thế. Rồi vậy. Sai cái này chứ cũng giá.
Wow, thầy có 5 tuổi đó. Đó, không phải là anh dân vào, anh có văn học đấy, chỉ là biết không. Rồi sao? Nghe thật rồi sao? Rồi mình nó bỏ ngoài này. Mà lên không bắt được cái gì nữa.
Cái material.
Thứ hai là cà bối. Cà bối là tóc làm đẹp là là toàn là đưa tóc làm đẹp. Anh ơi, sao? Cái anh ngồi người đấy. Lưu về bắt được luôn không? Đó. Lưu vào đó mình phải dùng luôn. Cái là ví dụ anh đưa cái này 5 hình đúng không? Cô ý nó hỏi là lưu về bắt tôi đâu bé còn phải ý này không?
Từ giúp nó mới xoay được.
Cái này có chứ. Hình nó hình xếp anh sẵn không ạ? Khi mà em là người có tay lé còn nó bị thành đó cái này rồi.
Như vậy thì quấn. Đây là quấn. Hạt 40 cục sức bay á, người ta tắt. Up and away. Sức bay. Sao mà không biết tìm được đồ nha. Vai này. nước tồn tan lai in nhật cư sư con cái vậy mình thông minh mình tưởng mọi thứ có cái này mà blueprint mình ghét được nhưng mà cái finishing này thì rằng chết á mệt nha. Ngoài hot spring mai thì mình đi 6 nơi á. Whitestone Hot Spring này. Paimon hả? Current ok. Phòng thủ tấn công trồng với nhau được, nó không cứ trùng nhau. Infrared line đâu? Em không biết lâu lắm rồi, lần cuối cùng mình chơi thế nhớ tụi nó được. Đầu xưa thì mình biết chứ trừ em mới giờ lại đi thằng mình thiếu gì ta. Over the world. Okay. Hot beyond the play. Hot beyond the play. Our promise. Keep the flowers. Ồ, mình cần bao nhiêu này? 9 cái này và 36 cái prolongation đó. Điên rồi. Điên thật rồi. cam để biết cái lấy đồ ra nè. Này vậy hai Greystone Moonlight Stone 3 cục. Navigation Stone. Cái này nè. Nghe cái mùi này mình phải đi chặt gỗ hơi nhiều á.
If you ever have it,
Okay. Let's start to learn all this shit.
maybe you.
Impression lên chỉ cần ghé bằng này ỉa không đùa đâu. Ôi sắt đâu cho hết trời, sắt đâu cho đủ trời. Kind of soft really. Hết xác luôn chứ.
600 điểm. Ôi ôi. Let's make another one of these. Like the paw. Còn bao nhiêu nhỉ? 3 cái.
If you ever...
Cho nên mình thăm nhà thì khá là lâu. Ở đây xây được một cái nhà nhìn có vẻ xịn xòa.
The one before you is known as Jade Seeker. One Ah.
Ôi
chết ở đâu ra gì tí con thuộc về một ngày chụp và đồng chung nói mà chụp vô mà lớp ra sắp bị ra để thôi luôn tình yêu quê hương
Video của mình đến đây là kết thúc. Cảm ơn các bạn đã đón xem. Hẹn gặp. Trong xây nhà ấm á, cái lý do tôi sai đơn giản là vì tôi không copy được cái mà tôi muốn tôi. Ây da. Cay lắm luôn ấy. Mấy cái mình tôi thích nó thì không làm được, cho nên tức là tôi tự thiết kế thử con gái thêm, biết đâu nó lại được. Cái vậy ở chứ. Try to do something. Làm sao đi lên quay rồi nhỉ? Oh no, it's kind of wrong here.
Anh Tuyên đúng kiểu vừa lái xong vào ký sinh luôn. Vài lần có.
Như thế thì tôi dừng stream lại nha. Dừng lên cái dịp giờ. Cảm ơn các bạn đã xem video của mình. Tôi đã mình này kết thúc. Hẹn gặp lại với các bạn vào những video tiếp theo. Mình sẽ tắt lại stream trong vòng 5 giây nữa. Bye.